Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on why I feel like Helix and Variax, particularly when used in conjunction with each other, are just such an amazing gigging tool. They have just vastly simplified the amount of gear I have to take to a gig. Um, the load in, load out times are just so fast, and also just I can set everything up ahead of time, and it's so convenient and easy that I can really pay more attention to what I'm playing. I can get more into the music and have a better time, and hopefully in turn the crowd has a better time. If I think if the band on stage is having fun, the crowd's much more likely to enjoy the show. So again, I just wanted to jump right in and kind of just share some of my thoughts on setting up Variax and Helix together. Some of the ways it can make your life easier, save you some time and trouble, and hopefully just help you have more fun. So let's jump into the editor. I'm going to walk you through a patch that I used from a gig a couple weeks ago. So there's some song-specific snapshots, but I'll explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's concepts that can be broadly applied. So let's hop over to the editor, take a look, and I'll start walking you through it. Okay, so this is a patch that I used for a show a couple weeks ago. Snapshots are more or less set up for specific songs. There's a couple of there's one semi-generic little snapshot for lead in here. Now normally what I would do is just kind of use stomp mode and just turn things on and off as needed. Treat it like an amp and a pedal board, which is just how I've been used to gigging forever. But the longer I go, and the more, like these last few shows, we played a very regimented set list where I knew exactly one song to the next. There wasn't really any jumping around or nothing was going to come out of order or happen when it wasn't expected to happen. So I did something a little different and actually just set up snapshots for every song, which really worked out to be kind of nice. It was fun, and it actually made things even faster than my normal workflow once everything was set up. So we opened the show with a couple of Beatles songs. We did Sgt. Pepper's into Get By With a Little Help From My Friends, just like they do on the opening of their record. Now, if anyone's ever played Sgt. Pepper's, it's just a barred 7th chord. You move it around, but that's the whole song. Not hard at all to play. However, personally, I have carpal tunnel in both wrists. So if I hold a barred 7 or any barred chord for a whole song, that position just catches the nerves the right way, and my wrist is on fire by the end of the song. It's very frustrating, to say the least. So what I did, knowing that we're going to play Sgt. Pepper's, was I came in and I assigned all of the string tunings to snapshots. So I have, as you can see, I have basically the guitar retuned to a barred 7th chord, where I can put one finger down and it's a 7th chord. If it's not on. And then also I'm switching over to the chime, which is the Rickenbacker model. It's the Beatles, they seem to like those guitars. So instead of having to hold a position to where I'm going to be physically hurting because of my ailments, this just made it that much easier. I was like, great, I don't have to hurt at the end of the song. Now, I'm not advocating you necessarily use technology to forego learning your bar chords, but you get a little older like me and you start having aches and pains. This is one use for Variax that can be quite helpful. In the middle of those two songs, I have this lead patch where I just do that little descending line leading down into the next song. And also I use that at the beginning of Sgt. Pepper's. Oops, I accidentally flipped a switch. But anyway, so that was kind of my bridge to the next snapshot, which was for Get By With a Little Help From My Friends. Now, when I looked the chords up, I learned this a couple ways, but I saw a guy play it capoed on the 2nd fret, and I liked some of the chord voicings you could get, particularly on the chorus of the song that way. So I have it set up that way. It's going to like a strat in between position, very clean. obviously that part of the song I could just have played 2 frets down, no problem. But when it gets to the chorus, I can play it like this. And I liked kind of being able to work around that D shape and D form, kind of have some strings ringing out. To me, it added a little more liveliness to the chorus. So I could have not, capoed it or pitch shifted it, but it was so easy to do that it was just, I felt a great use of the technology. Why not do it? It's there to be done. So right off the bat, within the first song, I've gone through a couple snapshots that I've changed guitar 3 times. I've changed tuning 3 times, and then settings on the amp change. I've gone from dirty for the lead, kind of a more distorted, to a crunchy for the Sgt. Pepper's, to totally clean for Get By with a little help. So that's just one quick example of just the versatility and ways you can leverage. And for any guys that are new to this, I have a video, or maybe a couple, I have to look back, on snapshots, how to set them up, what they are. You can have 8 snapshots per preset, and it's basically you can set up any changes, on-off states, parameters of anything you have in your preset. You can change Variax settings, the model selected, the tuning. If you want to preset where the volume and tone knobs are, you can do that as well. And if you're new to this, basically when you're in the editor, just go to any parameter, right click, and you can assign it to a multitude of things. But if you want it to snapshots, just assign it right there to snapshots. So that worked out really well. We did Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder, and we're getting there. We're playing it. We've been practicing it. One of the guys in the band hadn't shown up yet for rehearsal. We're playing it, the key of the record. He gets there and pulls his trumpet out. He's like, "Oh, I really need to do this down a half step." And the bass player's giving him dirty looks, and I'm going, no, okay, give me 10 seconds. So I just dropped down, on Helix, came in, changed it to be the Variax to be tuned down a half step, saved it, bam, done, and ready to go. I mean, how easy is that? Obviously it would have been a bigger challenge for because the trumpet player also does the keyboard part, so he had his hands full, quite literally. So this just kind of allowed me to just easily transition into doing something like that made life. He could do it in the key he wanted. I could play it in the position I'd learned, and life was good. So, we did Kashmir, Led Zeppelin. So, if most of you guys probably have played this at some point, but it's in Dad-Gad tuning, using a Les Paul, kicking on a little bit of a phase, bump the gain up a little bit. It just kind of has that that phase is very subtle, but it's just enough in there, Again, I don't have to change guitars. I don't have to retune anything. I don't have to fiddle with any settings. Everything is just beautifully done by snapshots. Now, another really cool thing about snapshots that I've talked about in previous videos is, there's no gap or delay because you're not changing presets. You can have delay, reverb, spillover. You don't have, the sound doesn't stop and start back up like it does if you're changing presets. So there's a lot of good reasons to do that. Like I said, actually, and what I did in terms of like snapshot management, what I did was I made like a couple copies of my main patch, because just the way I like to do things, I usually just use the litigator amp model. I find a core amp sound I like and kind of stay with that just for consistency's sake. I like the way that amp model responds, and I can use the drive to get anywhere from super clean to crunchy Marshall, and then I've got drive pedals on there. So I really, for what I do, how I play, I can cover everything I need with it. So what I did was I just kind of made copies of that patch and put them right in order, and it's like, as you can see on here, it says Folly MC1. So the name of our band's Muddy Creek Players. We were playing in a thing called a Spring Folly. So I had Folly 1, 2, 3. had them. I forget how many I ended up using, but really the snapshots were the only thing that changed. So I could literally just step through the snapshots through the songs. I get to the 8th snapshot, go to the next preset, and I just had everything just set up, and it just, gosh, it was just so easy, just so easy. Because I've done things before with Variax, where I would I would physically change the tuning position of the knob, which is not hard to do. You can flip it in between songs. But the problem is, sometimes we get to the end of the song and I would forget to change back. We go to play the next song and whoops, I'm not in the right tuning. So using snapshots just kind of is a way of foolproofing it for me, where I don't have to worry too much about forgetting to change something back. But anyway, there's just some kind of thoughts about how you can set things up for gigs. You really leverage snapshots to make your life easy. And if you haven't tried Variax, I mean, I absolutely love it. To me, and I have other videos on my channel showing how I set it up in Workbench, how I get the tones the way I wanted it. Because some people feel like they pick up a stock Variax and just flip through the settings and go, oh, well, my Strat, I like my Strat better. I like my Les Paul. Well, first of all, Workbench gives you the option to really tweak and customize. But on the other side, just going, I just want it to sound like a Strat is a little bit, stopping short of what the technology does. Being able to go from a Rickenbacker to a Strat to a Les Paul to an acoustic, changing the tunings on the fly, that to me, that's where the value comes in on Variax. And that's why I have 2 Variax guitars, and that's all I gig with, because they do what I need to do. I can't figure out a reason to carry another guitar to a gig. I just can't. I cannot convince myself there's a reason to make an extra trip to the car and tune an extra guitar and have it set up and make another guitar switch during the set. There's just no for me anyway. There's just no reason to do it. I can't talk myself into a reason to do that. These are just such fantastic tools. They're good instruments, and but especially when you pair them with Helix and Variax together, goodness, I mean it's almost limitless. And really, what I'm doing is barely stretching what the technology does. I'm just doing a few simple tricks to kind of make my life easier, again, based on some of, I have wrist problems and this, that, and the other. But if you're interested in Variax too, you can check out Stevic from 12 Foot Ninja, who helped design the Shuriken model Variax. There's a guy that really leverages the technology. I got to meet him and see his demo at NAMM this past year. And I think he had a song that had 13 guitar changes. I can't remember if they were all tuning changes or some just went from, I don't remember exactly all it was, but I think he said there were 13 basically changes to the guitar side of things throughout one song. And it just makes perfect sense. Why limit yourself? And he would show her what he'd retuned it to where, it was a very, very simple way to chord something, but without that tuning, it would have been like a 6 fret stretch, So with Variax, to me, if you're kind of a purist going, all right, I want the Holy Grail Strat sound, just find your dream Strat. But if you want to just open up all the possibilities and the windows and doors of what your imagination, like if you can imagine it, you can almost get there, almost regardless of what it is at this point. Between these two tools, and to be able to show up to a gig with basically a gig bag with my guitar, backpack with Helix, as long as there's a good sound system monitoring in place. I don't even bring speakers. I can't ask for anything better than that. So anyway, I haven't done a video in a couple weeks and was kind of just itching to make a video, and this is what's kind of been on my mind the last few gigs I played, just thinking, gosh, this is so nice. This is so fun and easy. That's just what I wanted to share with you guys today. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below about how to set anything up, or if you've got some cool ideas that, some cool, interesting things to do with Helix and Variax, share them with me. I would love it. I'm always looking to try some new things. So I love interacting with you guys. So please hit me up in the comments if you have anything to add. But other than that, that's what I got for today. I hope this was interesting and informative, or at least at the very least, it gave you something to watch for a few minutes. So anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time.